All right, it is official. Quarterback Jameis Winston is officially heading to New Orleans after reaching a one-year deal Tuesday. That was announced by the team. Winston, who's 26 years old, is hoping the experience to to rival the Teddy Bridgewater experience that he had in New Orleans. He'll come in, play backup to Drew Brees, the former number one overall pick in 2015. Winston was drafted by Tampa Bay, was displaced after the news last month of Tom Brady signing with the Buccaneers. Winston actually jumped on a podcast, or he was on Instagram Live with former Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Charlie Ward from Florida State. It was called Chalk Talk on Instagram Live, and Winston was explaining the decision to join New Orleans.
Being a part with Drew Brees, Taysom Hill, Sean Payton, Coach Joe Lombardi, Coach Pete Carmichael Jr. When you think about that room, I mean, that's like a Harvard education in quarterback school. So I wanted to put my ego aside, put the money to the side, and think about my family, think about my career. And it was no better position than to be in the same room with someone that I really looked up to, someone that I admired since I've been playing this game, in Drew Brees.
Winston was talking more on Brees yesterday on Instagram Live.
Just understanding where I'm at in my career. I've done some great things with the Bucs. I'm going to miss being a starting quarterback, but you never know what happens. I think that this is just a great and unique step to join Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints and learn from him, learn from one of the best to ever do it, and make a great transition in my career.
Winston led the NFL in passing yards last season with 5,109, 5,109 yards. He also became the first quarterback in league history to throw for at least 30 touchdown passes and 30 interceptions in the same season. We'll have more on this coming up on OTB, but it is official. Jameis Winston is headed to New Orleans. LSU got some good news yesterday. Harvard graduate transfer offensive lineman Liam Shanahan is committed to the Tigers after signing his letter of intent on Tuesday. That was confirmed to go 247. Shay and those guys had it first on Tuesday afternoon. Shanahan, who is a 6'5", 270-pound utility offensive lineman. He's first year in Harvard. He played guard last 2 seasons. Spent his time on the outside playing tackle. He graduated. He's got 1 year of eligibility remaining, and yesterday he officially signed with LSU. He'll stop by off the bench at 8 a.m. this morning. Liam Shanahan will also talk to his position coach, James Craig, coming up here at 7:30 this morning. Joe Burrow, former LSU quarterback, was on ESPN as he's starting to get settled into however it will be working with Cincinnati as the virtual preparation begins for the number one overall pick. Burrow was on ESPN talking about what the last couple of days have been like.
A lot of interviews, but it's been pretty relaxing. I've been able to I got all my workouts in early this week, so I was able to take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off and kind of relax, eat some food, and watch the draft.
More from Burrow talking about getting to know his coaches.
It's been great, and I think the relationship is going to be really good for a long time. You know, I love Coach Callahan, Coach Taylor, and Coach Pitcher. They're great dudes that, you know, I think are going to enhance my abilities and mold me into the offense and take advantage of what I can do on the field.
Andy Dalton has been the starter in Cincinnati. He's still on the roster. Burrow was talking about a relationship budding with the starting quarterback.
Reached out and just welcomed me to the team, and I had met him before all this coronavirus craziness started out in California, and I went up and just introduced myself. So we have met each other twice now, I guess.
More from Burrow coming up here on Off the Bench. NBA news. You see this? 5-star point guard Deshaun Nix is decommitting from UCLA and signing with the new G League, the Pathway program. The league announced that on Tuesday. Deshaun Nix told the LA Times, "I think it was the right thing for me because it was a family thing." And myself, Nix told the LA Times, playing in the G League is basically getting ready for the NBA draft. It's just one step below the NBA. Nix discussions with the G League took place over the past few days, according to ESPN. He's the third player to join the G League. Isaiah Todd and Jalen Green, both 5-star prospects, announced they were skipping out on college and jumping right into the G League. Nix was ranked the number 20 ESPN, the number 20 shooting guard in ESPN's Top 100. He was committed to Mick Cronin's UCLA Bruins program. He was the first commitment to Cronin's program out there in Westwood. He's a 6'4" point guard from Nevada. As this is something to watch, man. I mean, Malcolm Turner, who's the former G League president, said that they would not go after committed college basketball players. They would go after uncommitted guys that were out there deciding on whether they were going to go to college. Some have chosen to go overseas and taken that process in between jumping to the league. But this is something to watch. I mean, if they're going after committed college basketball players, and now college basketball players have to or coaches have to compete in recruiting against the NBA G League, I would imagine that this would make the NCAA act pretty quick, because now you're messing with their money. You're messing with some of the top prospects. And I heard Jay Billish yesterday talking about where it won't completely kill college basketball, but it will water it down if you start taking out the high-end talent. I mean, this is 3 5-star guys. Jalen Green was the number 1 player in the recruiting cycle for 2020. Isaiah Todd was a 5-star that was committed to Michigan. I mean, both these guys going to the G League. Now you see another one in UCLA's point guard who's been committed, Deshaun Nix, for the past couple of seasons. He's skipping out on college and going straight to the G League. It'll be interesting to see what comes from this, because I would imagine that this is going to get the NCAA's attention. For the most part, they have not paid too much of attention to the G League. They've kind of out of sight, out of mind, but now they're starting to mess with a lot of the financial implications of the NCAA tournament. I mean, these are the type of guys that they would promote and market throughout March, and you start taking them out of the equation. Maybe they start to react here. We'll see. Those are your headlines. What's trending here on Off the Bench on this Wednesday, April 29th.